happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to Woodbine Racing Live. My name is Elisa Blow, joined as always by Hall of Famer Jeff Bratt as we get set.
I am not a Hall of Famer.
We will be one day. As we get set for a 9-pack here on another kind of overcast day.
Then I'm all excited about turf racing next week, and you say, Jeff, have you looked at the forecast? I'm like, yeah. Doesn't look very good. And I'm like, well, I was watching CP24, it looked good, and then we just looked at our phones, we're like, oh, man.
I know, but things could change. Yes. It just looks like we might be in for some rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Enough.
Which, like I said, means they'll have to delay the opening of Splashworks yet again.
Yes. Now, like my teenage years, my early adulthood, I could go to Splashworks. Now you can pay me enough money to go there.
If they had like an adult lazy river, I'd be in on that. Like with, nice G&T, I'd be totally cool with that.
Yeah, give me an all-inclusive somewhere nice and warm.
An adult only.
Yes.
So there's not a lot of other things in the pool.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be okay with me too. Well, today's an interesting day. We have 9 races in store for you. We have a 2-year-old filly race on today's program, which was race number 3 on the card. And we're very filly and mare heavy today. 6 of 9 are girls.
Yeah, I find that's the way. Saturdays tend to be the fillies' day. Sundays tend to be the boys' days.
One would argue that.
Yes, that's true. But that's the way I tend to find it is more often than not. And they kind of do the same thing in harness racing. The Fridays tend to be for the girls, and Saturdays tend to be for the
Mondays
boys.
trotters.
Yeah, that's just the way it kind of goes. But yeah, we've got some 2-year-olds that will line up in the starting gates. And I did giggle a little bit because I saw there was a girl baby race that filled. The boy baby race did not fill.
Well,
and what
as
do you always say?
We
the boys are a little bit slow learners.
Yes.
So thus we take a little bit of time to develop.
Well, we're so much more mature.
I know.
And we learn a lot faster too. Yeah. So here we go. We got 9 for you today. Want to take a look back at what happened yesterday when there were 7 on the program. And I thought yesterday, for the first time in a while, we had a pretty fair racetrack.
I agree. And but one thing that kept going was the hot barns kept going. Phil Hall, Anthony Adamo, Bob Tiller, like the barns that are rolling right now, they continue to have some success along the way, which is great to see. I mean, Phil Hall, he's winning with horses coming from Hastings that couldn't win it for 4.
I know.
And they're coming here and winning. Royal Hudson was able to come back on and win at odds of 11-1 on the tote board as well. And, listen to some of the riders that won races though yesterday.
Okay, yes.
Amanda Vandermersch, Zero Ford,
with an
Lon Crawford,
move.
like some of the riders that don't win like a ton of races,
but
which was
Davey
great to see.
Moran got his first win of the season.
And that horse got
great.
bet too. Took a lot of money. Kicked us. Of course, we got the rest of the pick 4, but we didn't have Tavalli. Yeah,
3 or 4, that's our favorite.
That horse ran great to pull off the victory there. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. I always like when the smaller people have some success at the windows. I think that's not the windows, at the racing game, because that goes a long way.
They got bills to pay too.
You know the Savachis, you know the husbands, you know the Cassies, the Atars, they're going to win their races, right?
Now this morning, it was a very cold morning. I mean, I think I've talked to a few trainers, like they've told me they've taken their winter blankets, had them all washed, and then had to unpack them and put them back on horses.
I have a new way of figuring out the temperature. It's the electric blanket.
That's right. And it was cranked up yesterday.
Last night?
You got that right. Before the Herald break, he's going to rate it as a 3 this morning. Now, keep in mind, it was very cold this morning. There was a headwind all morning, and there continues to be a headwind now, which might affect some of our races here today. But he did say it picked up, and that's the wind that he's talking about. So after the break, he rates it as a 3.5. I'd say that Jeff, is 3 the lowest we've ever seen him rated at?
I think
3.5 is the lowest we've seen before today. He's going to give a slight edge to horses along the inside, and he's saying, that some horses started working on the outside and then were able to duck into the rail, which is interesting, and then they were able to make up some ground. So the rail is probably going to be super live on today's card. Raf Rue was one of the workers that he clocked this morning in 47-4. That's a nice breeze. Out in 59-4 with Rafael Hernandez up, and that horse is still in the Harold Laddister outfit.
Yeah, had one race down at Gulfstream Park, didn't go very well, but then went onto the slide lines and just now starting to build back up. I didn't think the track was all that quick yesterday either.
No.
I thought it was a little bit on the slow side of things too. Now,
keep in mind when we were watching racing yesterday.
That's just it. It wasn't slow horses, though, as well. Today we definitely have better horses on the program, so we'll have a bit of a better gauge on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they had to dig up the track a little bit because we had so much rain, right?
Who knows?
So,
it's hard to tell what we're in for, but I was really happy to see a fair track yesterday.
That's me too, because nobody wants to see the conveyor belt where you go in the front and just everybody keeps winning, right? So yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And so hopefully it's a bit of a neutral racing strip that we have yet again here today.
All right, so we have the 9 to look at. We have some clocker horses for you on today's program as well. We got a little bit of everything for you today, including 2-year-olds. But first, before we get started, well, I guess as we get started, our first topic for the day today will be stats for 2025. Because, you know, what are we now? 10 days? No, 12 days into the season. As Robert had pointed out, he always likes to keep tabs, which is great for us. 12 days in, and this is how things are shaping up as far as our Jocks Room is concerned, and Saheem Savaji now takes the top spot with 14 wins. But you know, if you watch, and a few people have, we've been discussing this for a while now, if you watch on now the Thursday card, the Friday card, you'll see that some of our big riders in the room either don't have calls or ride 1 or 2 horses. Yeah. And that's giving these other riders opportunities to win
Especially
races.
if you're a fan like a Patrick Husbands, he might ride 1 on a Thursday or a Friday because he'd be selective at this portion of his career. But the guy that is the biggest surprise to me and is having an unreal meet is as one. I mean, his ROI is great. He's winning races. You know, it helps that the barns you're running for are hot right now. The John Coriat barn can't lose right now. And they've got a first-time star that looks really live on tomorrow's program. In terms of our trainers, Cass got off to a slow start. He has made up a lot of ground. Now, if you're looking tomorrow and you're wondering what's going on with these horses now transferred over from Kevin Attard to Darren Glennon, Kevin's serving a 3 calendar day suspension, one of which is tomorrow. So that's why those horses are being transferred over to the Darren Glennon barn. You've got Tiller with 7 and Marty Drexler with 7 as well. This is Tiller's time of the year, though. I love playing him during the springtime. Heck, I'll play Bob at any time of the year. He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. And I guess we're going to see Patch in the not too distant future.
Yeah, Jacques Cartier is right around the corner, and Bob was in the winner's circle yesterday in race number 1, which, you know, was an interesting first race, too, with the starting gate. Let's hope it's all functioning A+ today. All right, let's get a look at the second topic, which is against the bias, and that'll come up in race number 2 on the program, a maiden optional $40,000 claiming event, which kicks off the $100,000 guaranteed pick 5.
And this is Deputy Daddy. It's a horse that ran against the bias last time out. The inside was the place to be on this day, and the eventual winner is going to win it. And on the inside, with Maldini taking the inside approach on the best portion of the track, whereas Deputy Daddy had a very wide trip here on this particular occasion. So we'll evaluate a couple of different things. First of all, we'll highlight the eventual second place finisher, which is our focus, that being Deputy Daddy. Here's the eventual winner right here. And where do you want to be on this day? You want to be in this path right here on the rail. And watch, we're covering a lot of ground. The winner just stays on the fence. We're on the outside. Also, the horse that wins this race is Winter Raced. We are not. And you and I love playing the Paul horse the second time out. The Paul Buddy horse the second time out. And this horse ran very, very well. You know, it ran well first time out too, and against Go-Kart Mozart.
He was a horse that there was some buzz about, remember? And that was on the opening day. Go-Kart Mozart is a great frame of reference now because he's won 2.
Yeah, but now once this horse was able to kind of extend that stride a little bit, that's Maldini that's able to get up to win. Now that was at 7, so this horse is doing something that's a little tricky, going from 5 to 7, back up to 5.5. That's probably not the way you exactly want to draw it up, but some of these races in the book are just not filling. So you've got to go when they fill. And I'm taking a shot with a 4-year-old first-time starter, that being Imperial Gold. I just think this race is ripe for an upsetter myself.
See, I used the 6 and then the 4 is my horse at a little bit of a price because he ran a pretty decent second to Lumberyard, who was, you know, speed on that day, right? On a day where speed was really the name of the game. So that gets us through race number 2 on the card. As we flip the page, we'll go to race number 3 for our next topic, which is a clocker daily double. And isn't that interesting? Because Ernie has a horse in race 2 and race 3 on the program today that he likes.
And what I like about this particular race, too, is we now have some horses coming back with races under their belts, too. And you look at Seeking Magic. That horse didn't get out of the gate all that great in that first career start. That was our only 2-year-old race so far. That was won by a Cassie horse. You've got Churkop with 2 in here. You've got Gail Cox and Barb Mitchell. They're well represented in this spot, too. You and I, we would love this time of the year. It's impossible to do here because you can't do it, but we'd love to have like 10 2-year-old races on a day. That'd be fantastic. But our 2-year-olds are a little bit behind, say, what the 2-year-olds are right now in the States. But yeah, so what do? Let's get the clock report going. And I think Ernie, he's playing this right because I do think that Contrary Mary's going to take a ton of support because of the pedigree, the fact that Patrick's riding. But Miss Maxine, as you said, we don't know for sure. We got to find this out. We'll ask Gail maybe when she comes to the paddock if this horse was down with her in the States.
You gotta kind of assume so, because if you have a 2-year-old who's ready to roll now, and this is early for us, then they had to have been somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and we know that Gail went down for the winter down to Pace, and this is an Anderson Farms. They co-bred this Miss Maxine, so she makes the clock report. But the first one is in race number 2, so this is the double that Ernie suggests. He's looking at Signature Sir for Bill Theranis, a first-time starter for Six Brothers Stables. They've been in the game a long time. First foal from a mare who was a 3-time winner, and she bankrolled some good money, around $125,000. And then he's going to roll that double onto Miss Maxine, another first-time starter. This one, like I said, from the Gail Cox outfit. Very interesting, because I did not see the Signature Sir in race number 2.
That will pay, that double too. It's just the draw is tough. By the way, Emma Wilson in the house, just saw her walking by.
I'm surprised she didn't jump into the studio to
she
scare
might.
us.
You never know in there. But I'm going to go to where it's contrary Mary there in race number 3. This one is out of a mare that's produced a couple of stakes places horse. And good for Chris Nolan. You know, Chris, he's had horses with Steve for a long time. And to go to Uncle Mo, that is an expensive stallion that he went to there with that horse.
$125,000. All right, our next topic is the debut, and that comes up in race number 6. So I gotta flip all the way over here to race number 6. Now, you and I last start out, we were both on Miramichi, right?
Yep.
And I did not use Miramichi in my top 3 here today, because I think the time was last start. Yeah. And now we're making the 3rd start already this season. So who is it here that you want to talk about?
John Koryak got us on that day. Surprise, surprise with Miss Pierre. I really like Dolce Fortuna in here, and I'm surprised more people aren't picking this one, because I thought she ran great in her first career starts. We'll take a look at her. She's going to break from the rail in here, and she doesn't break great, which is not surprising. You're in first. You're in there for a long, long time. You're kind of sleepy at this point when they press the button, and you're just kind of, not terrible, but just sort of all black. But now the rider kind of asked the horse to go a little bit in here. The good news is she's engaged, and we'll get to a later portion of the race, and I thought she was a little bit delayed at this portion of the race, so we're going to pick it up right now. So on this day, it is Ryan Munger that is riding, and I think Ryan's trying to figure out, okay, how is this going to pan out? Do I go up the inside, or do I try to get towards the outside? Right now he's stuck. He's got run, but he's got nowhere to go. And this is tough to do with a first-time starter. And now he's able to kind of swing off the outside in here. And watch how this horse finishes up in this spot. Runs really, really well on the outside. And here we go with the finish. And the Allwellan horse that finishes in 2nd, I quite liked on Thursday's card. It was a bit of a disappointment to me. But still, take nothing away from this horse and able to pull off the win. I thought got delayed just a tad. And what I liked too, Lisa, was, and this is something that I love to keep notes on, there were 2 splits of 2-year-old races on that day, and this was the faster split by 4/5 of a second. So I think the quality of this 2-year-old race was pretty good. So I'm going to take a bit of a flyer there with Dolce Fortuna.
Yeah, and I'm taking a flyer with the 6. I mean, you know, and I'm saying that, and the horse is installed as the morning line favorite, but that's kind of interesting to me on this Speedy Freeze, a horse that Ron Sadler claimed last season for, you know, about $25,000, and makes the first start of the year with the blinkers being added. But really, one of the main reasons I'm using the 6 up on top is it's a barn that I just really respect.
Yeah, you know what too, and that was, like, Ron is such a sharp guy at claiming horses too, you know, and he claimed that horse in that 2nd career start and ran well against tougher. I think you're onto a really good one. I can't take that price, but I don't think the horse will be that low.
I don't think so either. Yeah. I think you're right. I think eventually they'll start looking at a horse like Dolce Fortuna, or even Stu Simon's
Regal Moment, for sure,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and I think Regal Moment's going to take a lot of money in this race, actually.
All right, next topic is non-winners of 2, and that comes up in race number 7. We're talking about jocks who are making some changes. So we have some new riders with some of these horses here in the 7th race. Now, Our Lady, I mean, she blew the doors off them in her debut here on May the 4th, and I don't see any reason why she can't come back and destroy in the non-winners of 2.
My only concern, and I think it's a valid concern, 20 days back. Boom, 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 boom. Does she bounce? Now, she could regress a little bit and still win this race, because that race was so good.
Yeah.
The money showed on that day, though. She blew out of the gate. She got husbands on that day. She crushed, absolutely annihilated the field. She could be any kind of horse.
And she's a Bulldoro, and everybody wants one of them.
Absolutely. But does she regress a little bit in here? Now, husbands, It's hard to say with the Cassie horses, but could he have rode lunch with Bernie? Possibly. But he does obviously stick with Our Lady in here. But will we get a bit of a regression here today? That is my only concern. Now, we do have a new trainer to us here at Woodbine, Olivia Kettleson. And
she's here from Century Mile.
And when she won with this horse last time out, she beat the heavy favorites with a rail trip. Now, the figures don't look good. But a Hastings horse got us the other day. So I'm just sort of having that in the back. Like, to me, I think she's overmatched in this race. But we'll have to try and figure out things from, where those Century Mile horses fit in. Who knows? Maybe the horse moves up on the synthetic.
Who knows? I really find like trying to classify these horses that are coming from out west can be difficult.
Yeah.
Because, there they might have been stars. Like in this case, this is a horse who won a little stakes race.
As a maiden.
Yeah, exactly. But now, you're facing some of the tough girls here in race number 7. Up next, repeat. All right, now we have seen a lot of repeat winners.
Have we ever?
A lot. Hanlon became another one the other day. And in race number 8, guess what? John Coriat, who sent out Hanlon, is going to send out Miss Pierre, who's now looking for back-to-back victories. I didn't use her, Jeff. Maybe I'm way off on this one, but I saw others in here I liked.
I got her second. I didn't love the buyer figure that came back for that race. It was a really low number. And listen, she's more than paid for herself. She's been a wonderful, wonderful horse along the way. And what I like too is she did something that's very tough early on. She's a 3-year-old that beat older horses at this time of the year. So you have to give her major, major props for that one. But I'm going to land on number 2, that being I'm Into Mischief. Well, just got caught late in that last event when finishing the second place position. So I'm going to give that one the slightest of nods in here. I think Talk to You Later needs one. I'll tell you the horse, and I have no idea what to do with this is Catherine's horse, Never Silence.
Oh,
because on her best day, she could beat this field, but she sometimes will lay some eggs. Other times she's a monster, so I don't know what to do with Never Silence.
I know, like this race kind of feels like, there could be an upsetter in here. Like even, did we mention this 3-horse Determined First? Like, this is a Trombetta horse. So coming up here from Fair Hill, and I think maybe it's the rider that's kind of got me scratching my head a little bit.
That is very, very interesting. You're right about that. I mean, obviously running against Earhart last time out, that's tough. But the 6th and 8th place finishers came back to win against allowance horses on that race, Silent Sky and Swinging Mandy. So,
but Jeff, let's make a little argument here.
Okay.
Let's say
we got 29 seconds.
All right. Let's say we had this horse, the Trombetta horse, and it was Raffi aboard.
No, you're right.
Now you're putting a big circle around it.
100% right. 100%. And that's not a knock against Jaylon. It's just we
Just
know
saying.
with those guys here, we have a bigger sample size, right? And this is just a very unusual rider. Now, maybe they have some sort of relationship from the past.
It's the first time he's ever used him.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe I know he's doing a lot of galloping. Maybe he's galloping the horse in the morning and they're giving him an opportunity to ride a decent horse. And he has already had a winner at the meet from limited starters. Race number 8 is actually how we're going to kick off the late double because we have 9 on today's program. The last topic, though, for the day, or one of the final topics for the day, is Magic Show. Now, I don't think I've ever been to a magic show. I mean a real one, like in Vegas.
I saw David Copperfield, and it was okay.
Who did he marry?
Yeah.
He married some real hot chick. Do you remember
Elisa
that?
Blow?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah,
I don't know.
I've been with a few magicians, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. God, she was gorgeous. But anyways, there was that, and then what was the other guy? Doug Henning. Remember him?
Yeah.
With the mustache and all that jazz. But no, and I have one right around the corner from me down in Niagara Falls. I've never been.
Funny, when I was handicapped in this race, I said, Jeff, don't pick Magical Trick. Don't pick Magical Trick. Don't pick Magical Trick.
That's what I said.
Don't pick Magical Trick. Here's the replay for Magical Trick last time out. And the reason why I'm a little bit gun-shy to pick Magical Trick in here is the horse had an unbelievable setup on this day. Like, really, really good. You're watching multiple battles up front, and now here comes Pietro on the outside. Now, in this horse's defense, they went really, really slow to the half. They went to the half in 47 and change, and the horse kind of flies up here, and you're thinking, man, we are cashing tickets, but guess who's going to win the race? It's going to be the horse eventually on the inside. That's going to pull off the victory, and it's a good run, but we just got out-finished. I don't like the fact that she got out-finished because she's a one-time winner in 17 starts. She finds ways to lose races, and I hate seeing that. But maybe she needed the starts. It's her second start off the comeback. She's had a comeback work in the interim. You keep Pietro in here. I just feel like I'm making excuses for the horse. I just couldn't find anybody else, though.
I
Lisa.
know, and I did the same thing, and I ended up landing on the 9, and that's Bright Sunshine, because it's Patrick, it's Cassie. Patrick really hasn't done anything wrong for Mark so far this season, and they're dropping from 40 in for $25,000. This one's kind of flying underneath the radar a little. So, I did use Magical Trick, but for second, I'm just going to try and beat her with this other horse.
The only thing that worries me with Bright Sunshine is she was on absolute fumes when she hit the wire last time.
I know, but that was for 40.
Right. This should help.
Alrighty, so that gets us through the 9 races that we have in store for you this afternoon. Now, of course, we have clocker horses to take a look at. We did kind of look at them on the show. We have plays of the day to look at as well. We'll start first with Jeff.
Pierre Gold's a total guess. I just kind of like that family. Lady in Red, instead of that mare, she was pretty fast. I really, really like a horse today, and I know Doug's with me. Fighting the Wars. Look at the work tab with it. This horse is working so fast and has had the ultimate equipment change. It's the first time gelding. My repeat threat is Dolce Fortuna, and my high 5 key. I probably should have put top 2 positions in the high 5 because I do think the horse is going to run well. I'm just not overly confident the horse is going to win the race.
So maybe you should have put high 5 key question mark.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I should have covered myself.
Look at me. I got all 6s. A lot of 6s today. Deputy Daddy for Buddegeg is going to be, he made my watch list, so this is the horse I'm going to put on the ticket here today. Miss Maxine is my Beware. This is the first time starter in the 2-year-old race that Gail Cox sends out. I like Prima because John Mattini said to me, maybe not like the first start back. He said she'll come back and she'll be much, much better the second start out, so I'm going to believe what John told me on her. And then Speedy Freeze, I got this one ready off the rest, used everywhere that you can with this Ron Sadler trainee. Some selections today from Doug and Ron. Doug's got Fighting the Wars, as Jeff had pointed out, some really good works with this one. We'll watch for that in race number 5. And Ron's gone to race number 6 with Him to Her at a good
I like
price.
it, Ronnie. I like it.
Look at Ron with these horses
Mr.
at 12 to 1. And I don't know, you think we'll see Bob Tiller at 12 to 1 by the end of things?
I think the thing with Ron was with that horse had an extremely wide trip on a day where the inside was really, really good. So I can see why Ronnie is trying to find a bit of a snake in the grass in there.
All right, okay,
Have you ever seen a snake in the grass?
I have picked up many, many snakes. Oh, we used to love to scare my grandmother with them when we were kids.
You can scare me. Bring a snake. I will run as fast as Patches O'Houlihan if you brought in a snake into the studio.
Here's those clocker horses again for you. A first-time starter from the Bill Theranis barn in race number 2, and we talked about it as a possible double because we have the rolling doubles, but Signature Sir for Bill Theranis, a Six Brothers horse. So talking about the work from this one at the gate. Salas, as they mentioned, pretty good at getting these horses out from post position number 1, and we find that Leo Salas is pretty live in the first few races on a card generally. Miss Maxine is the other horse, so this makes me feel pretty good because when I walked into work today, I had a guy stop me, and of course, people are going to stop us here and there. They recognize us. We don't necessarily know who they are, and he said, "Hey." And this drives me crazy because I've only said my name, 1,000 times the last 20 years. "Hey, Alicia, who's your best bet for the day today?" And I said, "You know what? I kind of like this Gail Cox horse. They're going to bet the Chirkop horse. I think you might be able to get a little good price on that one."
I like it. I have one more question for you. Are you scared more of, because this is a total horror movie stuff, snakes or cockroaches?
Oh, don't even get me started on cockroaches.
Yeah?
Look, I don't scream, but I do when I see those. And I'll tell you another thing I hate, June bugs.
Yeah.
Can't stand them. They're like the Canadian cousin of a cockroach as far as I'm concerned. Alrighty, 9 races in store for you. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Robert's going to join us in the studio.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
They love it here in Saudi Arabia!
This is the biggest race in the world. Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming.
There are visits to my World Cup.
And they're into the Tbred.
Two of the great racehorses in the world. Giant killer by name and by nature. A race for the ages.
Oh, guess what? Guess who's back joining us again? It's Jack Tripper and Chrissy and Janet.
I love this shot because I feel like I'm Shaquille O'Neal. I can just pick you up.
You know, I'm wearing my big high heels today too. My mother actually said, I didn't realize how short you were. Me.
Really?
Because apparently Jeff is so tall.
Yes.
But I
Used
got
to
my
be a jockey,
big
Robert.
heels on now.
Back in the day.
How long ago was that? Steeplechasers.
Thanks for the history lesson on
Anja Koneficia.
yes, that was
Marcus
very
Aurelius will be
interesting.
very happy. Yeah.
Because
Yep.
you know, we had no clue what.
I can't even say the horse's name.
Well, yeah, Ron was very interested from the daily racing form,
Oh,
so I
that's for
printed it
Ron.
out and
Okay.
studied it up.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
she lived till
Ron-
56 or 52?
You said 52.
52.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
52.
exactly. Yeah, we
Not
all
bad.
learned that the other day.
There you go.
Now, Ron
remembered something.
passed. I always do. Ron passed along a horse as his best bet
Okay.
in race number 6, which is him to her at 12-1 morning
That's a
line.
good
But
chance
you've
for
got
sure.
one in there too that you're keeping your eye on as well.
Well, I like the chances of Regal Moment firing first out because this runner did win at the debut. I thought it was a pretty interesting debut because the speed sort of folded in that race and along she came and she got up and won. And I didn't mind her performances after that. I mean, she took on route races. Now, I know it was a very slow Princess Elizabeth Stakes, but she held on a little bit. But I like the fact that she is fresh, and I think the level at which she's run is commensurate to Dolce Fortuna because they ran against Rhaenyra. So if you take a look here at Regal Moment, we're going to see the horse back second last. She's coming on the outside in the ownership colours for Anne and William Scott in the red cap. And it is a race that really saw the leaders get tired. And she's running about. She's green in her first lifetime start. And it was a very close finish, but she just nabs them right at the wire. And it was a very impressive performance because we get close to the final few hundred yards and she's still 3 lengths behind. And she does win this race. And I thought it was a great performance. Him to her is going to be hard to beat. I think the odds will be much shorter. But I did like the chances. And Stuart Simon, great to see Twin City.
Yeah.
Another horse that gets under the radar. And you mentioned to me, Elisa, about this climate being a very favourable one for Twin City. And I think that's a very big factor we often don't consider with these runs.
Well, and we've discussed this. Jeff and I have talked about it. I've talked to a lot of trainers about it too. This is just such a roller coaster for our horses because they're really hot one day and they're really cold the next.
Yep.
And so it's really hard for their bodies. Like even yesterday, we never saw one horse obviously come over sweaty, but then we saw one that had to be hosed
And
off.
won.
And it won.
Yep.
Right? That was the Adamo horse going first start off for the claim. So, you know, keep your eye on that too. Just see who's handling this. And the problem with that too is that heat and then that cold gives you horses that have snotty noses.
Well, it has been a roller coaster with the weather up and down.
Then add
but
allergies
it's a
to the
little
mix,
chillier
right?
now. But some horses they love much cooler
Absolutely,
climate. But
yeah.
I think Twin City's an underrated horse, and I was really happy to see that run do well.
Yeah, me too. Now you got another one for us in race number 7. This is a really nice debut for Our Lady.
I think she deserves to have another look at her because of the manner of her victory. I thought she won like a stakes quality horse. And I know that she really did it in style. So we'll take a look back. But I really, really believe she could not have been more impressive. We've had tons of repeat winners. From what I can remember, this is a banner year for horses who run.
Uncharacteristic.
Yeah, uncharacteristic. So I think she fits the category. Here she is. She won the break. She was in the lead. She was just cantering. And look how comfortably she looks in terms of the ears pricked and just in second gear. The others are pushing now, and she's really not been asked to run until the final 16th or inside the furlong here. She's just opening up, and she's just starting to get the hang of what she's required to do, and in a blink of an eye, she's what, 5-6 in front, and her margin could have been so much more.
Are you gonna play the vintage ring horse? I think that horse races tomorrow, right, Jeff? That's the other Chirk Up horse that was claimed for $100,000.
Wow.
It ran well.
Ran well.
Another area code in second, but
Yeah. No, I always think a horse of that caliber, if
Yeah.
you've run second and third, it's a good line.
Yeah.
I think there's interesting. This is a very good field. I think in terms of betting, we'll see a horse photo today for one of these runners.
Yes, we are
yes,
going
we're going
to.
to
I
see.
have it for you.
And you might have it.
Yes, we do. Look
I was a
at
bit
you.
bleary-eyed, but she's a cutie. She was actually snuggling with me in the other photo, but that's okay. You don't want the romantic one. I understand. But Miss
This is Miss
Saugerties is
Saugerties.
feeling fresh, and she did win fresh, and I do like that pattern. Perhaps that's the theme with Regal Moment and Miss Saugerties. She's 20-1. Obviously, very short price, Our Lady, but I think if you are a professional bettor and you come to the track with one horse and you're going to stick to that horse with a sizable investment, surely it has to be Our Lady.
When you were at Katrina's barn, she has a lot this class. She's got a barn
got
full this
some,
year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know exactly, but
Yeah,
her barn looks pretty full. She's got a very nice horse tomorrow, Revels Row for
Yes,
TEC
yeah,
Racing.
TEC.
So
Yeah, first timer.
she'll be representing them, and I think there's a very good Mark Cassie horse, Let's Go Super, so they're both spotlighted. Oh, in a photo tomorrow.
Oh, good. There'll be another one tomorrow.
But they're both very, they're both very cute. Very
All right.
cute.
Okay, well.
It was a little chilly, you're right, this morning.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
yeah.
like 5 degrees. Listen, you might
Yeah.
want to bundle up tomorrow if you go visit anybody as well.
No,
You're
I've done
going
my
to have to
dash.
bundle up
Still
upstairs
open the
too.
window to call the races?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
so
if
how
there's
is
a
the
bat,
wind?
right?
Yeah, what do you think about the wind today?
Well, it depends on the direction. If it's blowing right into your face, it's terrifically hard to focus, but it is coming strongly for the northwest.
Yeah.
It's going to affect them in the stretch for sure.
Okay.
100%. It's a strong wind, yeah.
Alrighty,
There it
we
is there,
will
boy.
keep an eye on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you bring some weather from Australia for
I
us,
know, we
Lawrence?
had such a promising start to May, and here we are struggling. Australia had the hottest April I've ever known, and I was there for it. It was great. I can't package it. I wish I could.
I know. Alrighty. Well, let's see. We'll bring the sunshine on the day today. We've got 21 minutes to go before race number 1 of 9. Good luck with your selections today from Woodbine.